If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it. Photon Store is the best place to get PTGO codes online with instant email delivery. They already have Darkness Ablaze available in bundles of 50 codes, single codes, and the pre-release promo box. What are you waiting for? Make sure you use Tablemon code for 5% off your final purchase when you're checking out. MillibotsGaming.com is the best place for you to find all the Darkness Ablaze singles you might need for your upcoming decks. Any Eternatus, anything you need, make sure you get it at Millibots Gaming, and when you're checking out, make sure you use Tablemon code for 5% off your final purchase.
Tablemon.
Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Thanks so much for tuning in. A lot of you have asked me and you've seen my games. First off, I did get pretty frustrated in my top 4 match. You saw how my opponent's internet connection or whatever completely slowed down the game to a halt, and then I drew pretty poorly and I was pretty frustrated. And I know that's perhaps not the most entertaining video to be watching the whole time. I am only human, and I could choose not to show those games, right? I could choose not to upload that, but it is part of the process of being a good player, becoming a better player, and working through your emotions, right? And it would be much better if it's much better if I get that out of my system rather than keeping it inside and putting a smile and then letting all that conundrum build up inside me, right? So I apologize if that's not appealing to some of you, and I also received very kind words of support as well, so there's a little bit for everyone, right? But hopefully it has gotten better these past few months. I'm trying to get better at it, to keep it more under control. Within reason, I'm only human. And so a lot of you have asked me about this list, about my approach to Eternatus. I have published this list over on Facebook and Twitter. However, and Instagram as well. If you're not following yet, you should. However, so why Energy Switch? Energy Switch gives you so much maneuvering. Your opponent tries to boss order and stall up on Eternatus VMAX. It's like an extra switch, right? Then you go attach Energy Switch and pass along the energy. It also opens up plays for Sableye V that otherwise would not be available, which are pretty good. Because if you don't have Energy Switch, then the attachment to Sableye V becomes very obvious, whereas if you have Energy Switch, it's something that is always a threat. And that's what I find very appealing about Energy Switches. I've even considered going 3-3 Energy Switch. However, I also wish I could have 6 switching cards, because I've definitely just lost games where I got boss ordered and I couldn't do anything about that. Other than that, it's pretty standard Eternatus VMAX Eternal Zone, allowing you to play up to 8 dark Pokemon on your bench and dealing Dread and 30 damage for every dark Pokemon you have in play. Now, for Zigzagoons, with no scoop up nets, definitely is enough for the most part. However, I played in a tournament today, Sunday, right? You're seeing this Monday, but I played in a tournament today, Sunday, and I played against, it was 8 rounds. The first 5 rounds I played against 5 ADP station decks, and 4 of them had Big Charm in there. Different styles like Tackle Engine, Researches, Crushing Hammers, right? All the varieties, you could think it was a different variant every time. However, 4 of them had Big Charms, and it makes sense, right? If Eternatus is no longer playing Scoop Up Net, getting enough damage onto the ADP in order to get to 310 HP means you have to bench all 4 Zigzagoons. So if you price one or if you miss one of them, you're not taking a KO on ADP, and that's what usually swings the matchup in their favor. So that's something to consider. We might need to consider going back to the Dangerous Drill, right? Since I don't have that myself right here. Over the Energy Switches, Dangerous Drill, obviously, you remove the Big Charm and then it's no longer an issue. However, there is merit to Scoop Up Nets as well for other matchups. It's a matter of adapting, right? ADP adapts, therefore you adapt. But I'm still a pretty big fan of the energy switches myself. Alright, Testfire is calling the coin flip. We'll see what we are up against. Presumably a fire deck based on the deck box and the sleeves, right? Presumably. Might be baby plants, we'll see. Decent-ish hand, not the best, not the worst. We will get mulligans and we will get information on my opponent's deck. It's completely the opposite. Very sneaky opponent playing fire sleeves and fire deck box and playing a pure metal deck, and then we simply get the win. Alright. That's been happening a lot. I don't know what's going on. Like bad connections or what. I really hope I can get to 16. I'm gonna have to grind a lot to get 500 more points before the ladder ends so I can maximize the rewards. Like, now that I know that I have to keep my this account active, I've thought about making a video on maximizing like the free-to-play aspect of PTGO, right? I think in order to be truly competitive, you do have to invest money into it. However, there are definitely ways to maximize the time that you spend playing PTGO in terms of getting practice, but also maximizing the rewards that you can get. Because ideally, you get up to 25,000 coins right before a brand new set, right? For Darkness Ablaze, I got to 13,000. That meant I got 67 packs of Darkness Ablaze, and I opened 2 Crobats there. So that immediately saved me a bunch of real, actual codes, because they were 2 Crobats that I didn't need to trade for, right? So there's definitely a couple of things that you can do in order to maximize the value that you get out of the time that you spend playing on PTGO. My opponent, going first, chooses not to attach the metal energy for some reason. Hopefully he gets punished with no attachment. No, he just gets another energy. That's a pretty poor play, however. That is definitely a pretty poor play. I would not recommend that. You're going first, you can't GX. Why wouldn't you attach the energy? He's even rewarded with an energy right there. Alright. So I'll do 10 damage there, I'll do this, and then when I reset stamp, I have no information on my opponent's hand, therefore 6 random cards become 6 random cards. And then we'll draw a few more. Pretty terrible draws, but we have to research, we have to continue to get more resources basically for the future. Now, this opens up a play where my opponent could go Energy Switch, attach, KO my Eternatus, and that would be very annoying. We would be able to return KO with Sableye V, however, so I don't expect my opponent to do that. Now we are going to have to get a pretty solid research, right? We're going to need a VMAX and a bunch of basic Pokemon to work with. We do have all of our Quick Balls, all of our Great Balls, our Pokémon, and 3 copies of the VMAX. So a lot of these games come down to this big turn, right? And also, like this is what usually happens, right? They go GX, you KO them ideally, and then they go boss KO something, and then boss KO something, right? That's usually what ends up happening. This would have been not the best research. Just gonna have to research and hope. Okay, we can definitely work with this. So let me think. I think I have to. I need to Crobat for 6, right? Therefore, Pokémon has to be used on this guy, and I'll grab the VMAX. And then the one card that I cannot play from my hand is this energy. Therefore, I'm gonna get rid of it, and I'll grab the Eternatus V. And I'll bench it. I'll play the energy switch from the Sableye to the Eternatus. I'll play the Pokégear, but I'll fail it, regardless of if it hits or not, and then we'll do Crobat for 6. I need 3 basic Pokemon, which I naturally got on top of the Great Balls, which is fantastic. So I don't actually need to use the Great Balls, but I'd rather bench something else other than this extra Crobat for when my opponent gets a knockout next turn. Presumably, I can then utilize this Crobat. And the 1 damage counter, I'll place it on this Zamazenta. No boss for me, and I am down 2 bosses, so that's gonna be a problem, right? My opponent can buy time by just promoting this Zamazenta. I have exactly 2 bosses orders left in order to try and deal with the Zamazenta V. There's 1, which is really good news. And I got the Energy Switch as well in case there was a possibility of taking a knockout with Sableye. We don't know my opponent's deck list. He'll probably just go attach, take a knockout, but then it comes down to can he find another Metal Saucer and an Energy to power up Mobile plus a boss, right? Games always come down to this. There's a bench space open. I don't need the boss anymore. What I would love would be my Reset Stamp, because my opponent has a huge hand. He still has over 30 cards in his deck, however, and he is down 2 bosses. Don't know if at this point, we haven't seen a single Pokemon catcher, so I'm gonna assume he doesn't play one. The Energy Switch will help act as a switching card, so that's really good. I'm actually not going to grab anything, just gonna burn these. I will grab this, I guess, because that is a card I can play down. I will keep this, however, and then I'm gonna do this hoping to find Reset Stamp. Not quite. Don't know what else my opponent has here, but if I get Reset Stamp, I don't want to draw that. And we'll Dread End, and then this is what games come down to in this format. If they have Energy Saucer Boss plus switching card, right, they win. If not, we win. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. The game does feel a little simplified at this point. I will give everyone that. And then people say ADP is a good matchup for Eternatus. The more I play the matchup, the less good it feels. And they play Turbo Patch, that's actually really bad. So they play extra ways to recover energy. Like, oh, and there's Metal Saucer. It does go to Zamazenta though. So they did have the Metal Saucer, and they had the energy, and they had the switch. But they had Marnie, they didn't have Boss. We don't find Boss ourselves. And now we're in a pretty rough spot. Because we have no way to find our Boss, we have no way to thin the deck. Essentially, okay, I'm just gonna grab the Hoopa, and then this guy has 10 damage. I can't even get a knockout with Sableye V. Not realistically, so I'm gonna do this, right? I'll grab the energy, and then I'm gonna attach and retreat. Is that a good play? Yeah, I really want him. I want him to free up a bench space, right? That's what I need. I want him to free up a bench space so I can Crobat, find a boss, and win the game. So Zamazenta ends up helping out my opponent. Without Zamazenta, we would have already won. If he has boss, he wins, as is the case. Well, actually no, if he has boss, he doesn't win. But he basically wins if he just brings up my Eternatus up again. Not much I can do about that though. I hope he takes the baits and he just knocks out my Zamazenta, my Zigzagoon. That would be ideal. That's the third water. He plays two Zamazenta, nice. Okay, well there's a Crobat. This is pretty bad. If he's playing 4 boss, he's down 2. If he goes boss onto this guy or boss Metal Saucer, then he's won the game. Doesn't immediately do it though. Doesn't immediately do it. Okay, just goes for the research. Ooh, wait, what? Oh, I thought I saw he discard a boss. No. It's just since he's playing all the shiny cards. The right play here is to non-attack. I hope he's tempted and he just attacks him. Yeah, there you go. Pretty well played by my opponent. Pretty well played by my opponent. He'll probably now go boss KO and win. So pretty well done for him. There was no reason to take a knockout right there. Absolutely no reason. Oh yeah, he's retreating, gonna play the boss. Yep, that's gonna be the game. Well played by my opponent. It was like, at that point, if I find boss, I win. He finds boss, he wins. I dead drew off of the Marnie. Not much you can do about that, right? Not much you can do about that. So, quick video for you today showcasing the Eternatus VMAX. There was potential for the Energy Switch to be useful at one point there, but the Marnie was just too strong and it completely killed our game. That's gonna be it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, it really helps out the channel. And if you're watching this on Monday, I should be streaming tonight around 5:30, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, in case you wanna join over. I'll either be playing Hexter if I can join it on time, or I'll be grinding the ladder with a variety of decks. Thanks so much, and until later or tomorrow. Bye.